Gaffer, thank you for joining us ahead of the game against Wigan. Firstly, deadline day today, but how pleased have you been with the window as a whole?
Yeah, I think the window as a whole has been really positive so far. We're still not quite finished yet, but yeah, look, we've had a lot to do since the day I joined. The very first day I came to the club, we've been looking at targets and players, and in the end it will be over 15 players that have come in and probably a similar amount that have left, so a big turnover. But there's been a lot of good work that's been done, really good processes within the club, from the ownership right down to the recruitment guys. And I feel like that process has enabled us to identify some really good players and actually bring them in. So yeah, full credit to everyone. It's been a big few months, and hopefully we set ourselves up now for the season ahead.
And as we sit here at 2:30, how do you envisage the rest of the day shaping out?
Yeah, I think we're still hoping to get one or two done. But again, this is always a kind of a dynamic situation, a bit of a moving target, so we'll see how things progress in the next few hours.
And of course, Siriki Dembele departed to Oxford yesterday, but is that an area of the pitch where you feel as though we have enough strength and depth?
Yeah, I think from Siriki's point of view, I wish him well, of course. Obviously, any player that leaves the club and has served the club, we wish all the best and good luck to him in his next move and for the rest of his career. He's obviously got a lot of skills and qualities, but we'd already brought in, Yokoyama and obviously Hansen in the wide left position, and now Scott Wright's joined us. So, I want wingers, of course, but there's only so many that can actually play. So that was essentially why Siriki Dembele moved on.
And Lyndon Dykes and Scott Wright have come in this week. What do they each bring to the table?
Yeah, so I think if we start with Scott Wright, he's, as I said, a winger, fast, direct, has good experience of playing at a club with high expectations in Rangers, and all the pressures that come with that. I was aware of him when I was up in Scotland. He came through at Aberdeen, and I remember him kind of caught my eye even back then, and then he's gone to Rangers, and he's done well, and he's had some big moments for the club, and they've had one particular successful season, but he's had some great experiences. So I think with Scott, we're getting a player that is his first time in England. He's going to really want to attack this challenge with everything he has. He's hungry to show what he can do, and he's a hard-working, honest player that has speed and can be a threat in the wide area. So really happy with him. Lyndon Dykes, probably more familiar because of his time in England with QPR. He's obviously a kind of a mobile reference point striker where he's strong and physical and aggressive, but he's got a lot more to his game than that. He links up the game very well. He can drop in and connect and control and pass really well. Technically good, and then very dangerous in the box. He gives us something a little bit different to what we've had as well. So I'm really happy that he's managed to join us, and again is someone that will press from the front, work hard. So we're on a journey here, and we're bringing players in that we want to go with us on this journey, and he's one of those.
And just looking back at the Fulham game, was that one where the lads have come away feeling confident despite the result?
It is, and it's a strange one because it's not often you do get that feeling in football. It's a very small amount of games that could possibly feel like that, but it did feel like that. I think we were happy with our performance. We made a few errors, of course, that we need to fix and be alert to for next time. But in general, I thought we over the course of the game and analysing it back, I did think we were probably the better team in terms of the possession, but also the chances and situations we got into. But to go up against a Premier League opposition and perform in that way should give the players belief in what they can do. And obviously the flip side of that is we need to stay very concentrated for the challenge tomorrow, and not almost become complacent on the back of a promising performance against Fulham. So yeah, I think confidence is good. I think there was definitely no loss of confidence from losing a game. However, the most important thing is to stay humble and focused on the next challenge.
And how good a learning experience was that for you, seeing how well your style of play could hold up against a top side like Fulham as well?
Yeah, I mean it was good. I mean I don't doubt what we're doing here. I know what we're kind of capable of, and it's really about how much the players had the belief to execute it, really. And you know, I can set them up and give them the direction, but they really need to show a real bravery and courage to go and execute that, and they did that. And that's the key. You know, it's not always going to be perfect, but we need to play a brave and aggressive style of football and to be bold. And for that is a certain type of mindset. So if we continue with that mindset, then we will continue to improve the way we play in our game, and we'll you know, become more and more dangerous as we go along the season.
And just looking ahead to tomorrow, it presents a chance to make it 3 wins on the bounce. It's a real opportunity to build some momentum in the league, isn't it?
It is, you know, and it's, as I said after the Fulham game, it's the next game. The next game's the most important game, and all we should ever be focusing on. So, as a familiar phrase from me, but it's a big challenge, you know. It's a Wigan team that can play some really good football themselves. We're going to have to be ready for. I think from our point of view, we know at home that we've got the backing of the fans, but we're going to have to at times be patient and try and find the right gaps to exploit at the right time, and make sure that we're playing with a good intensity and tempo. But the chance to make it 3 wins in a row in the league would be exceptional for us. But you know, the most important thing is always focus on our performance. What are the things that we need to do on the pitch, and then the results and everything else will come from that.
And just looking at Wigan from a wider angle, Sean Maloney appears to have stabilised them over the last year and a half. What are your thoughts on how he sets his teams up?
Yeah, I mean, I know Sean because I worked with him at Celtic, and yeah, I mean, he's a really astute coach, and obviously had a great career as a player as well. And you know, he's someone that sets them up to be very proactive, I would say, is the way I would describe it. So they like to play. They want to play possession. They like to build up from the back. They're quite creative with the positions they get into. They've got technical players that can pass and move. They're quite dynamic at the top end of the pitch. He's got players that want to be direct and dangerous. And then defensively, they've always got a plan. You know, they've always got a plan related to the opposition, how they can stop them. Usually in a form of pressing, but they look organised. So, yeah, Sean's a good coach. He has stabilised, obviously, the club after relegation. And, you know, from our point of view, I know what kind of challenge it's going to be, and that's what we've been preparing for today.
And this week has also seen international call-ups for Bailey, Willem and Alphonse, all signings that have been made in this window. Does that further show the quality that has been brought in this window? Yeah,
I mean, if it is a symbol of quality players, international players, of course. So, and that's kind of how it is. Obviously, in this league, there aren't any sort of international breaks. It's only a few qualifiers. So, yeah, it's a sign. It's a sign of the level of the players that we're bringing in, and you know, I think all the positions that we've brought in, all the players that we've brought in have been quality players. So that's just another example of that.
And finally, just on injury news, how are we looking going into tomorrow?
Yeah, we're no real change from where we were, apart from obviously Keshi Anderson's had a bit of just as he was coming off, actually just pulled up with a slight problem. But it's nothing major, but it'll be a few weeks.
Great stuff. Thanks, Gaffer, and good luck tomorrow.
Thank you. Cheers.